Sandman is here and we're making some bread. Sorry about that. Challah bread, that is. We're going to put 1 cup of warm water and some active dry yeast in there. Make sure it's not too hot, you'll kill the yeast. And add 2 1/4 teaspoons of the yeast. And then we've got to give that something to activate, which would be 3 tablespoons of sugar. Let that sit together for about 10 minutes. It'll start to get foamy, and that's when you know that it's ready to go. And while we're waiting on that, let's get 4 cups of flour and 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt and mix that together. And next, in another little bowl, let's get our eggs. That's 3 full eggs and then 1 yolk. Save that other egg white in a separate little bowl because we'll need that to put on top of our bread later. Now we're going to look back in our bowl and make sure that that yeast is getting nice and foamy. We're going to add 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of canola oil. You can use butter if you want. And then go ahead and plop your eggs in there. I should have probably mixed those a little better before I put them in, but you can do that. Then go ahead and add half of the flour mixture that we had and start to mix that together. Kind of makes a little slurry here, and I like to do that. I've done it both ways, and it seems to work a little bit better with the slurry. Then add the rest of your flour and let the machine knead that for about 8 minutes until you can see that dough is coming away from the side of the bowl like that. And then I pull it out, and I like to knead mine a little bit more just to make it a nice little ball. Maybe just like 2 or 3 minutes of kneading, and it's really soft and easy to work with, so it's kind of fun. And then into a bowl, the bowl that we're going to let this rise in, you want to spray some oil, or a cooking spray is what I use there, and put the top in so it doesn't dry out, and then flip it over. Then put the saran wrap on top of that. Super easy, even though saran wrap always gives me a hard time. You'll know it's done rising after an hour and a half if you poke it and it doesn't bounce back. Form it into a rectangle, then cut it into 3 equal pieces. Even though I did not do a very good job, I'm sure that you'll do a much better job of cutting those into equal pieces than I did. Once those are separated, roll them into about 13-inch to 15-inch strands, depending on how tall you want your bread to bake up, and then braid them. Now, what I'm not showing you here is this took me 20 minutes because I am not a very good braider, and something in my brain says you can't do it. And so this is really like the sped up version, even though I could show you close to 30 minutes of me trying to get this done. Now, what you want to do here is form your loaf. It's okay to mash on it, it's going to rise again, and then you're going to let this rise for 40 minutes, and at that 40-minute mark, go ahead and start your oven preheating to 400, and while that's preheating, it's still going to rise some more, and after it's preheated, go ahead and brush it with that extra egg wash and water mixture. I put poppy seeds on mine, and then you're going to pop this in the oven for 5 minutes at 400 degrees and then 350 degrees for 30 minutes, or until it gets to 190 degrees internal temperature. It is so good! Subscribe!